Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Right, I've got a piece of you here.
Me.
Yeah, you. Now, I've had some big bits of you, but it's got cracks and stuff. There's a little bit of a crack there. I'm going to see what I can get out of it. If it's got cracks, it's got cracks. I've got an idea that I want to make, so I'll make something up. Now, problem I've got is I don't want to put any screws into this. So I don't want a wormhole. I don't want face plates on it. But I've got to level it off first. Now I'm doing it like this because not everyone's got a bandsaw that they can push this through and square it off. So you can see there, it's not even. Okay, so I've got to get it even first. I've got to get it flat on both sides because I've got to be able to drill it afterwards on the drill press. So I'm going to pop it on here. I've already marked where the centres are. So I think that's about it. Yep. And I've marked up for a centre here. So I'm going to come in and about there, I think. Let me just look down here. Right, yeah, that's going to do me for about centre. So what I'm going to do is hold it between two centres. So I've got, what I've put is I've put my spur drive from this system that I have. I've put that into the chuck because it's got a nice big spur, so it's going to give me a nice flat surface there. It's going to hold on to it, and I'm very confident of turning with those. Right, so I'm going to tighten that up. That's all right, that's all holding, and all I've got to do is level this side up first. Okay, so I'm going to put that like that. Now got to see, because I don't want to take the corners off of this really until I've got this done. Or will I take the corners off a little bit just to make it a bit, yeah, I might take a couple of cuts just to get rid of these very sharp corners. Yeah, just to get rid of the sharp corners I'll take a couple of little cuts because that's way out there. Get rid of the sharp corners, and then I'll come in and put a tenon on the bottom, but I don't want to lose the diameter. We'll see. I think I'll start by leveling it up first. Okay, and you can see how I cope with doing what I'm doing. All right, everything's locked up. Face shield on. Okay. Right, I'm going to turn the speed down because I don't know how this is going to start. Yeah, it's not too bad. Turn it up a little bit. Right, yeah, okay. Right, what I'm going to do with this first, I'm going to use a spindle gouge on here. Okay, and I'm just going to take a couple of little cuts just to take a little bit of that corner off there. Right, so but now I want to come in and I want to start leveling this bottom. Right, now I'm just going to take some side cuts in here. Dropping my handle, so I can come out and get this to... I'll say I'm being careful because I've got the corners. That's why I'm just doing dropping my handle. Going to be a bit bouncy. I'm going to stop and have a look and see how I'm going. Yeah, that's right, I'm getting that down. Yeah, I'm getting straighter there and straighter there. I've just got to go a little bit more. So I'm going to pull this in here. Make sure that all misses. That's it, that's all missing. Everything's missing. Right. Let's just say, you can see I've got this fat bit here and nothing there. I'm not cutting anything there at the moment, and that's all I want to do is take this bit away.
going to bounce a bit because of the unevenness. See, as soon as it gets to smooth, it stops bouncing, so I know that's when I'm there. Right, catch up the construction. I'm listening, I can hear by that bouncing, see I can hear that I've not got it actually level yet. Now let me have a look. I reckon I'm getting that bottom. Yeah, see, I'm getting that. I've got a very slight bit on that edge, but that's alright because I can get a tenon on here, which means I can then get it sorted out. So I've just got to come in a little bit more now, put a tenon on it. So that'd be easy. Right, okay. Talk about that there. Now, I know a lot of people would just be dragging across, but I don't cut like that. So I'm coming like this until I get this tenon on there. I've got quite big jaws on the other side. I'm going for quite a big tenon on here. It's going to be removed afterwards anyway. Now I'm just looking down here, I can see my chuck on the other side. For what I want it for. Yeah, right, one more and that should be it. Right, that's it. I'm going to just clean this bit up. Get that small. There we go. Right, I'm just going to take a little clean up pass on here. Coming in on those corners. Right, that's it. That's going to be enough. Very awkward when you've got these corners. I want to keep it that diameter, so I've got enough there to get hold of in my chuck, and this will all be cleaned up better once it's been sorted in the chuck. I'll bring it back when I've got it in the chuck. Right, okay guys, I've got it mounted on the chuck now. Hold on at 10. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the corners off. It's going to be a bit easier to work with. Because it's going to be round in the end, so I'm going to take those corners off, and what I'm going to do for that, rather than, I don't want to be pulling across on it, I don't want to shape it yet, I want it square edged like this, so I'm going to use a 40mm carbide, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to take the corners off. Okay, so I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Right, we're going to turn a little bit more speed, and all I'm going to do is come in here. Nice and gentle. pan above centre, you can see my cutter's above centre, and that way you won't get no grabbing, especially here we're coming a bit of an overhang now. There it is. See it? You can hear it gets a bit grey because it's got a bit of an overhang, so just take it easy. I'm going to stop and have a look and see how I'm going for the round. I'm getting nearly there. So I've got this little bit now. Now I don't want to push right off that end. Okay, but I didn't want to be pushing in this way with a square because it chuck it off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on, get this to round, and then I'm going to come in here and take those corners away when I move my tool rest round. I just want to get this round first. Nice and gentle. Just touch it this side, don't touch this side. I can feel that's not round. It's still nice slow work. There, that's round. You can feel that's round there. A little bit on the back edge. That's it, right. Now the reason I'm not pushing right through is because it gets too much overhang there. We've got nice round there, okay? So now I'm going to bring this round here. And I want to take these, corners off here now and get rid of them, okay? And I've got a bit of overhang, but I'm not cutting on that, I'm only cutting on this. Alright, so I'm going to start it up. Easiest one with that is to go over to a round carbide. So a lot of this is if you're using your carbides, okay? Just roll it and come in and just take those corners off. Like that, a little bit on this way so we're not bursting off the end. Get our tool rest in. Always keep your gap nice and close. By coming this in, way in, we're not going to burst off the end. One more, we can see it's getting level. Nearly level there. There we are. And there we can do a nice finish cut right across it, and that would have cleaned up. Yep, look, we've got rid of the tear out. This is the end grain. Okay, so it goes a nice clean finish cut straight off there. Okay, now I want to just clean up this front, and I've got to put a recess in for what I'm doing. If I wasn't doing this on a drill press, I wouldn't have to do all this, because I'm going to put it onto a drill press. I've got to clean this front up. Okay, let's come down a bit. So I'm going to clean the front off of it, and I'm going to put a recess in here so I can turn it round, take that foot off, and take it over and drill on this side. But I need this, I need a recess because this has got to be flat. I can't have a tenon on there because it'll rock when I put it on the drill press. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean this front off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick with the carbide to do this. I'm on centre now, like there, see, look, I'm on centre. Okay, and I'm going to come from the centre out. You can hear the bounce where it's not level. Now you can do it with a carbide, see, with the getting on the belt. I'm just going to lower it a tiny bit, because what I want to be able to do is drop my handle right there. I'm just below, I can get on the bevel. Now you can do it with carbide because there's the bevel, see, for a carbide. And when we come on the bevel, we've got no wings or anything, so it worked really nice. So look, I can come along here, and all we want it to do is come along without any bounce, and then I know it's level. Just take your time. And that bevel, as long as that bevel's on, it will maintain that same depth all the way across. I can feel there's a very slight bump just there. So I'm going to come again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in slightly, so I'm going to do a recess there anyway. There, that'll be more level because there's no bounce, and look, you can see because you'll get shavings. So when it's all nice and level, you'll get shavings like that, right? So now, let me stop and show you that. That's with your carbide. Look at that finish on there. Okay, so we've leveled that off. Tiniest little bit here, but that's not going to matter because we're going to come in and finish that. I could probably take one more cut. Let me look at it. It's pretty level. There's a tiny little bit there. It needs a fraction deep, but I'm going to put the recess in first. Okay, and the recess I'm going to do is going to be for my I don't know, probably my small shark jaws, I reckon. So closed up they are 55, so 60 mil. Right, I want around about 60 mil. If I can get my calipers, so easiest. I would normally do it by eye. I do get a lot of people ask me if I can actually give measurements, so I'm going to come out there. Right, there's 60 mil. I can go just slightly over, 62, something like that. So there you are, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's going to be a recess there, and it's only going to be a shallow one, just so I can turn it once I've done that. I can turn it round and take the other side off. Okay, so I'm going to bring the tool rest up. You don't want to be pointing these up, you want them level or slightly down. So now if I go there, right, I'm out. Just keep moving till you get the two lines match up. There you go, 2 points. So that point, and it matches up with that point, but don't touch that point on because it'll flip it over. It won't kill you, but it won't be very nice. Okay, right, and then I'm going to lower it down a little bit again. Up, down, but it's very important to keep moving your tool rest and keep your tool rest in the correct place. I'm still a little bit high. There we go. Right, I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to take a little bit out with this. That's enough. And I'm going to use a square. We'll use the square carbide just to come in, push straight in. Probably could have left it shallower than that really, but never mind. Right, now that's it, that's deep enough. I want to just put a slight dovetail in there, okay, and a lot of people might use a skew and things like that. If you've got your carbide, you can do it with your detail. Roll it over, don't go in flat, roll it and just come in. There we go, and that's all we're putting is a very slight dovetail in there. Okay, that's all it takes, is that little bit. That's it, I've got a dovetail. Okay, now that means I can turn it round and put it on the jaws. I'll bring you back in a second. Right, okay guys, I brought you back. I put my small shark jaws on. Okay, these are the Record Power Charmwood jaws. Right, Actually, it's not a record player, it's a Nova Chuck, and it's Charnwood jaws. There you go. Right, now my actual recess here is 4mm. I don't know whether you see that. Okay, it's only 4mm. That's plenty enough. I want it, I could go smaller, but I want it deep enough because I've got to take this front off. Okay, I've got to get rid of this now, so I can lay that flat. Okay, so I lay that flat there so I can drill, but I've got to take this away first. Okay, so now that goes on. Now 4mm, because the actual depth of this dovetail on these jaws is 5mm. So I've gone for 4mm. That way it can suck it back a little bit, you know. That's how a dovetail works. As it pulls in, it actually helps to pull it back a little bit. Right, there we go. See, so we're in there. Okay, now we're in a recess. Don't over tighten. That's it. Tight. As soon as it's tight, quarter of a turn. That is tight enough. Because when you start up, the inertia will always move those jaws to make sure they're nice and tight. Okay, and that's it. And I'm going to take this front off. Now I know some people don't like it. Because a lot of people do like it. I'm going to stick and do this. I've decided I'm going to do this with carbide. Mostly. Okay, so I'm now going to come in, take this foot off with the carbide, and an easy, really easy way with this, I've got a crack there, so I've got to be careful. I think it's a crack, I'm not sure, there's a little bit there, but that's all right. I'm going to get rid of it. Got to be drilling and then turning that. So I'm going to start up. Okay, now I could get this a lot faster. Now at the moment I'm on, now I'll turn it up, I'm only on 1500 RPM, okay, which is pretty fast enough for this because it's a bigger piece. Now I'm going to take this off with a square because it does a really good job on face work like this. And all I'm doing is very nice and gentle. Now the reason I'm doing it this way is because of being on a recess, all my cuts are pushing into the chuck. I'm not pushing that way and then this way. If you do pull cuts and push cuts, it's like wiggling a tooth. That's when you have problems. This is, remember, for catch free and no pieces flying off turning. I'm above centre as well, as you can see. There's centre, that dot. I'm above centre. Okay. If you get to the centre, it's going to be a little bit slower, so just take your time going in. And all we've got to do here is head down towards the centre as we cut, and we will. There we go, look, it's all gone off. There we go, we're like that. Now, I can come in and I can give a little, just to get it flat, do it all flat like that. Not as important to be 100% flat on this bit because, like I said, I'm going to be turning this. I've got to drill it and then turn it to a curve. There we go, that's enough playing with that. I do like doing it though. And yes, you do get shavings, okay? Look. People would say, oh, look at these lovers. That was done with a bowl gouge. I'd say, look at these shavings. But that was done with square carbide. So, there you go. Go figure. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do, just to clean up the edge. I said I'm sticking with a carbide, so I am. Right, there's my round. I'm coming on that centre. And then I'm going to bevel again. There's a bevel control. Now, if you come on this side, nothing will ever happen, okay? Nothing happens to you. Even if you open the cutter up, nothing happens on this side of the centre. So come this side, get to there. It's this side that it starts to cut. So all we're going to do is we're going to rotate it until we pick up the cut. And then we maintain. Now, I'll stop at that point there. Right, you can see here. Let me just clean that edge. Right, we've started. So this bit here is deeper than what this outside is. Now as long as that bevel stays there and keeps going and your handle stays in that position, you will maintain that depth of cut all the way across. The bevel controls the cut, okay? Now, if you happen to, and the bevel controls it, and this controls how aggressive the cut is, okay? Rolling it that way or that way adjusts the aggressiveness. Right, your handle must maintain that bevel there, and everything that is above where that bevel is will be removed. Right, if you move your handle that way, you will come off the cut. If you move your handle that way, you will go in. It will self-feed and it will keep running in, okay? This controls whether you feed in or feed out. This controls your depth, and this controls your aggressiveness, okay? It's just like driving a car, really. Bit of throttle. Okay, we're going a bit slow, so open the throttle up and we'll go a bit faster. Now obviously this ain't all round, so I've got slightly different depths. That goes a bit deeper there. So you can come off it because it goes a bit deeper. Just go back, pick it up where it was. Straight off the edge, and there you go. We've got a beautiful clean finish.
It's like riding a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like riding a motorbike, because when you throttle, you can throttle it, you know. Yeah. So you get that way. On this way, you'll be going forward, so it's a bit of like a dickhead's bike, but you know, I suppose one that drives on the left or something. Right, so, but that way we can come across and do that. And look, there's the finish we get. Beautiful finish with carbide, okay? Yeah. So now I'm just going to put a little centre mark so I know where my centre is. That's my centre, just there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my detail, and all I want to do is put a tiniest little dibble like that. That's just going to be where my compass goes. Right, I'll bring you back in a minute.
Right, okay guys, so I've taken it off, still the same piece, recessed. Right, what I've done, I've marked my centre hole, didn't I? Right, I've drawn a circle with a compass. Now, what I've done is the actual circle from the centre is 60 mil. So from there to that line there is 60 mil, and I've done a circle. Okay, and then what I've done is I've gone from that line with my calipers to there, and then all I've done is gone to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. Give me 6 equal points, okay? And that's what I've now got to drill. So I am going to take you over to the drill press. Before I do that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my bradawl to actually dig in and give me a nice, so I know I get dead on each hole. Okay. Just like that. So then I know the drill isn't gonna miss the actual hole, and we know the center. I've got a hole in that anyway. There we go. Right, join me at the drill press. Go. Right, okay guys, I'm at the drill press. Now I've got a 38mm drill bit because I need a 36, but I haven't got one, so I'm having to go slightly bigger 38, and I'm drilling to a depth of 20mm into this, okay? So take it nice and easy. I'm letting it clear the swap, I don't want it to grip it. There we go, that's the first hole in the centre, and that way it leaves it nice and clean. I won't have to do anything, because obviously I can't clean the inside of these holes up on the lathe. So come in, get the point, that's it. Now if there's any worry that it might bite, then clamp your wood down. I'm not clamping it because I know it's okay. There you go, that's 20mm. Do this one. And that's
that's all we're going to do is go round and drill all these holes 20mm depth. Right, join me back at the lathe when I've drilled the rest.
Right, okay guys, there you go. That's what I wanted to do. I'm back at the lathe. I'm going to mount it back on now on my recess. Right, tight and a nip. That is all it takes. That's held. Oh, squeaky, squeaky. Right, we're going to come back round now to the front here, and now we're going to start turning this and taking this down a bit. I want to dome it basically.
Right, I'm going to stick with the carbide, and I'm just using the 12mm, which is out of the Type 3 set. I'm a little bit above centre, so I'm just going to drop that down a little bit. There, I'm on centre there. So, and it's going to be coming around. I'm going to bring it round slightly, okay? So nothing's changed, speed is all the same, everything's still balanced. I'm going to go up a little bit on my speed now. I'm going to go to 1800, okay? There we go. And now I'm just going to make these cuts. As you see, I've got my handle slightly down. I can't come too far down because I've got the lathe bed, but I'm on my bevel. I've got to come across those holes. Right, now I'm going to take some of this away because I want to bring this down. Now the beauty of the carbide, I can have my handle down here and come in because I've still got the bevel, okay, because with the carbide, whether I'm there or whether I bring it round to there, I still get the same position on the cutter. That's one of the beauties of carbide, which doesn't work with a bowl gouge or a spindle gouge. So there would be a push cut, okay, but if you're push cutting there, across the holes, if I'm push cutting there, okay, the trouble I've got is maintaining the angle with the lathe bed because you handle. But if I actually come here, I've got exactly the same cut off the cutter, but I can have my handle down because I'm away from the lathe bed. See, so all I've done is that push cut. I've maintained the actual bevel contact, I've brought my handle round, and now I'm moving it here, and I maintain exactly the same cut and bevel control, okay? Come round, look, this is what we're getting with our carbide, okay? Lovely long shavings. Right, I want to get this down a little bit more. The noise there is because I'm coming across the holes. I've got those holes there, and that's when it can be a little bit more awkward to maintain that bevel control because obviously it wants to go into the holes, okay? But we've got that. I've got a little line there, but I'll get rid of that. So I've just come off with a slight dome like this, okay? I want to go a little bit more on it. Yeah, I want a little, I don't want to shallow this up much more, but I want to come down here, okay? Doesn't matter that those holes are going to be shallower there, And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to turn my tool rest slightly. Okay. And now we carry on. So we can always start from there. Just don't take as heavy a cut there. Now my tip here, and we'd still get lovely shavings, is speed will definitely help you here, and the quicker you can move across that hold, the more chance you've got of maintaining that bevel. So I'm turning up now, I'm up to 2000 RPM. So that makes it easier to maintain that over there. You can hear the difference. So I want to come, I don't really want to cut here, I just want to come along. So it's a little bit harder here, just come in here. Right, I think that is probably going to do for all I can come around on that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, very awkward because you look and you can see here there's a line there, but that's where the hole starts there. Okay, it's not actually a line. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my dust extractor on because I'm going to do a little bit of a sand on this. I'm going to use my drill and just come across them. Actually, let me just show you that we've got a little bits of fluff, but we've got a lovely finish on here. Okay, we've got that very slight line. Actually, I'm going to take one little pass from the centre to there because I've got a very slight line there. Okay, I'll get rid of that first. I'm not going to sand that out, I've got to turn it out. Put my tool rest down. I can just see, just there, it's a very slight, very slight bump. See it more when it's on here, like turning. So I might have to go this way. A bevel. There's the cut, there it is.
One more.
Sorry?
One more.
It's gone.
No, one more cut.
Right. It's all because you've got the...
I know, it's where the hole begins
Where you've
from.
got the hole, so I'm going to have a good sand. I've got a sort of 180 on him. Got a 240 on yeah. Right, okay, let's see. Oh, the holes took the paper off. Holes took the paper off. So I'll keep it that way. Oh, took the paper off a bit. So I've got another bit. I've got another one. It's the holes. Right, there we go. Tiny little bit just there. Very awkward there with the sanding because it keeps ripping me paper off because of these holes. So I've just got to do a little bit of let the drill turn it. There you go. Right, that's going to be okay. Right, I'm going to start it up. Right, okay, that's it. That's enough sanding. Yep, there we go. Right, now I'm going to turn it round and I can start turning on the other side. I'll clean all the dust off in a minute. I'll bring you back when I've turned it round. Right, okay guys, so as you can probably notice, I've changed my chuck now. I've got my step jaws on and I'm now going to, this is it, so there it is like that. I've not put no finish on it at the moment. I don't really know what I'm going to do as a finish on it. I think I'll probably just put some oil on it or something and that'll be that. Right, so I'm going to turn it round, pop it on here. As you can see, it goes up nicely. Just hold that nicely with my finger there. And then get a grip on that. Right, that's tight. A little nip. These are powerful jaws, so don't over tighten. I don't want to crack nothing. We're only holding it. We're not going to do nothing silly for cuts. There we go. We've got it. Yeah, that seems all right. Okay. So now I'm going to make some cuts on this side. Okay, I'm going to be sticking again with carbide, and I'm mainly going to take the edge round at this point. So start it up, make sure everything turns all right. Let's turn speed up. I've slowed it down there because I was doing some other bits. Right, now as you saw, it was a lot better at 2000 RPM. So 1998, 2001, there we go, look at that. Right, okay, same height, and I'm just going to come in and just take this down. It's going to be a slow sort of process because I'm not forcing nothing. Take your time. Now I am going to be getting rid of that recess. I'm not keeping that. Now I've got to watch, because I don't want to go into the bottom of those. Okay, I'm getting near to that. So what I want to do now is I want a flat across here, which is going to be the foot that it's going to sit on. So again, I'm coming in, I'm very slightly high there. That's going to be better. Okay, and I'm just going to pick up a cut on the middle. about there. Right, that's okay. Now I'm going to go this way. Nice and gentle. There we go, so that gives me that finish there. Now I've got a very, very slight foot there. I've got to keep that because I want it to sit on that. So I'm going to come out to that. Like so. Like I said, by putting my bevel on here, like that, I can maintain that depth just by rotating. Like so, I can maintain that depth out to there. Okay, and that maintains that depth. Now what I'm going to do is just curve this round a fraction more. I'm going to stop for a second. So I want to just check. Oh, I've got plenty. Yeah, I've got plenty there. I didn't want to come through and go into the bottom of those holes. Okay, but I've got plenty there. So, I can see a couple of little very faint lines there. That's it. That got rid of it. Right, now this I'm coming from here. Right, there we go. Now I'm just gonna, oh, slight bump there. That's better. Right, now just gonna come round to the front here. I've got my tool rest down. So what I want to do is just clean up this front edge. And then come this way, so there's no breakouts or anything. That feels very nice. Okay, so I'm going with that. Now I'm not gonna, I think I'm gonna leave the bottom just plain. Like I could put some, I don't know, I could put some lines in it, I suppose. Just gives a little bit, doesn't it, I suppose. This is my my detail 90. It's not a tool I use very often. I'll put a couple of little, just a little lines in the bottom here.
One more.
One more. Lisa said one more.
Perfect.
Perfect, she said. There you go. Bloody hell, how often does a woman say you've done something perfect, eh? Oh, work on that one, guys. Right, bit of sanding. So I can go back to my 2-3. It shouldn't keep flying off this time. Hang on, I think I need another pack. It shouldn't be flying off, but it is. I might have to put a new one of these on, maybe my Velcro's getting a bit.
Velcro, yeah.
Right, okay. And remember, when you're sanding this, even though I've got the dust extractor on, this is you. Keep your face shield on. You want a respirator. If you haven't got a respirator, then wear a dust mask. Base Camp is a very good one. I did do a review on it. I'm not connected to them in any way, shape or form. I just think it's a good product. Go down, right, that was a 180 grit. This is a 240. Quick go. This little bit of cloth just to get those bits out of the right side. That's it, just got the dust off of it. Oh, look at that grain on that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's why I'm just going to put some oil on this, okay? And I'm going to do that off of the lathe, so I'll bring it back when I'm ready.
Right, okay guys, I say I'm going to oil it. I'm just going to use some of this. It's a food safe oil. I'm using that because it's clear. I don't want nothing to change the colour of the U. Like I said, if you're making one of these, if you want to sand inside these holes, then you go ahead and do. I'll probably do a little bit of that. If I do it now, it's going to take too long on camera. So there we go. Just, it's lovely. Oil's lovely on you actually. I find I like it.
Yeah. I think it brings out that grain more than.
Look at that, look how beautiful that is. Hey? And you see we didn't do a lot of sanding on it, guys, and that was all done with carbide, okay? That's the thing you've got to get here. This is done with carbide, so you can get beautiful finishes without all the tear out, anything like that. You can get a good bevel control. You can do better cuts. You can do different cuts than what you do with a traditional, and I'd say better cuts. Yes. Right, now then, to show you what this actually is. Look at that. Actually, turn that off for a minute. I'll put that one on. If you delay when you put these on, you'll have different colours at different times. No, you won't. They'll all go to the same colour.
No, they're changing.
There we go, guys. Now, just another little craft fair idea. Something that would be great for little kiddies' parties or anything like that, wouldn't it? Or whatever you want. And there you go. And I went for. Okay, go on. You can turn the light. Look at that. All changing colours. They will turn them on at different times and you'll get different colours. They are changing different colours. Look at that. There we go. Now I'll turn the light off.
Oh, again.
There we go. Okay. All the different lights changing, and Okay, you can turn the light on. Sorry, darling. And I've gone for that shape because it's a little bit of a spaceship shape, so it's a bit of an out of this world turning, isn't it? Look at that. Okay. And there we go. And you can imagine it, even if you're just having a few drinks with some friends of a night. See, this is how you got to sell them, guys. You've got to give people ideas of what they can do with these things. Put them in on the centre of the table. People get mesmerised, won't they? Sitting there drinking, and then after they've had a few drinks, it probably make them feel sick. But never mind. Right. There we go, guys. Now the lights. If you could pass me the box, these. Right. Again, come from that very famous shop, Temu. Okay, £2.49 for 24
ridiculous.
£2.49. I mean, come on, for 24 of them. Look, 24 in a box. Okay, all colour changing. Just get on your Temu, okay? I'm not in any way connected to Temu.
No, I wish we
or
were.
whatever.
We'd make a fortune.
Yeah, I would. Look, and they all change at different colours. Sometimes they all go the same colour. I mean, Christmas time, putting that on the table, it just looks lovely. This is just my design. It's what I've done. You could put more lights in if you want more holes. Do it bigger, do it smaller, do different shape. You do what you want to do, okay? Different woods. I'm just giving you an idea. There you go, guys. That is it. So, there you go. I'll see you on the next one. Toodle pip.
Bye, guys.